All right, guys, thanks for hopping on the leader call tonight. I want to start off with just giving you guys the opportunity to ask some questions. I know there might be some specific things that you're struggling with, so I kind of want to hear your things first, and then I have a few things to say to you and to encourage you with, and just kind of stuff that I've been thinking about today that I think it's important that you guys understand where I'm coming from, where I'm at, and to understand that, but then also to see why it's important for you to know that as far as, moving your business forward and leading your business. So, I know it seems to be the biggest thing right now is focus. So, and just kind of getting yourselves organized and things like that. So what is currently going on that you're feeling unfocused with, and how can we help you? Like what questions do you have? What concerns do you have? Like what resources do you need? Like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to open it up to you guys and go ahead and ask your questions.
I guess I don't know that I have any specific questions. I just have been really struggling with, we've been going away every weekend to visit family or whatever. And then when I'm working the business during the week, it seems like I don't get nearly as much interaction from people that I was before. And I guess it's worn on me a little bit and just made me less motivated to work harder, Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm really hoping that I can hone in with my challenge group this month, and hopefully Summit will kind of reignite things a little bit. And I just feel like I need to reset my head a little bit. It's just hard when you put stuff out there and you don't get anything back over and over again. So. Yeah.
What are you doing what's personal development right now?
I am listening to Greater when I'm in the car, and then just doing the national wake up calls also when I'm in the car, and just trying to do a daily devotional. That's about all I have time for right now.
How do you like Greater?
Love it. Awesome. Want to listen to it over and over again.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're listening to that. So I think if you can listen to that with don't think about life in general with that. Think about it in Beachbody terms. What is God calling you to do? What can you do with the time that you have and the resources that you have, and not think of having to do something extravagant, but how can you be greater where you are in the time that you have? And if you can you commit to 4 days a week of Power Hour? Can you, the more you are vulnerable, I know it's hard when you're not getting feedback back.
Yeah.
I'm pouring my heart out there and no one can say anything. But the more you do that, the more people will respond. But right now it's kind of why is she maybe saying that? Or, is she, and is she wanting something from me? Is there always... Right. Is there always a hook? Is there always an invite at the end? Or is it just you sharing your story just to share your story?
Right.
So
and I guess I feel part of that is just with the whole pregnancy journey, I feel and I guess I don't know if that's been your experience, but it's really polarizing. Some people are super against you doing anything as far as regimented diet or pushing yourself physically at all. They've blamed the fact that I haven't felt well on that. I've had a lot of pushback from my family during that too. So it's kind of I feel I'm living half in and half out of the Beachbody. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, I haven't liked it. It's been way harder than I thought it was going to be. Just to be true and honest and open about everything, because so many people are kind of talking to me at work and talking to me at home about, you need to back off.
Back off what?
Just doing the containers and doing the daily exercises, and it's, it just.
So maybe take that as an opportunity to explain the containers.
Okay.
On your page, my post tonight, I was talking about dinner's been really hard. Like, I hate dinner. If I could skip dinner every night, I probably would. If I could eat cereal for dinner and be like, okay, fine, great. But I talk about how this helped. I talked about the containers and how, like, being on this meal plan helps me make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients that I am, because it gives me, like, hey, this is what you need. You haven't had any vegetables today.
Right.
You haven't had any healthy fat today. You haven't had any nuts or seeds today. So kind of like the next meal you post, like, make it a picture of food and correlate, like, this was the yellow, this was the red, this was the blue, so people can see, like, the volume and what you're eating, number one, the diversity of what you're eating, and kind of explain how that's helping you overcome the fact that you probably do just want to have fruit, or you want to have ice cream, whatever your thing is, but how this helps you make sure that you're getting the best foods for you and baby, and not every day. Like, there are days that, yesterday I had eggs and toast because that's all that sounded good and that's what was happening. But I think if you can kind of explain how the system works in a post, then maybe the people will kind of back off if they don't fully understand the program.
Yep, that's a really good idea. I like that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And same thing with your workouts.
And mention that you're not restricting what you're eating by using the containers.
Yeah.
Mention that just a guideline. Like, I need to mention it again, but I've talked about how I moved up a bracket. Like, I'm eating more than I was when I wasn't pregnant, but I'm still using the framework. Because,
right.
I would eat carbs all day long. If I didn't, like, that's what I would eat. And so, and some days I do. And I talk about that too. But I think people, when we build this as a weight loss program for so long, and we use it as for our own weight loss for so long, and then all of a sudden we're talking about using it while we're pregnant, people are like, "Wah!" and they freak out. Yeah. So use it as a time to be like, this is a nutrition program.
And that might even make a good live video instead of doing a post, but maybe just take, some time and don't rush it, but grab your containers and, maybe grab your book and say, like, hey, I've been hearing a lot, or I've had some messages asking me why I'm doing a nutrition program, why I'm pregnant. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of explain how this works and let you know that this is a healthy lifestyle program. It's not about restricting calories. It's about nourishing your body with better food options.
I love it. Love it.
So maybe, and that's where we say, like, the best posts are often the ones that are rebuttaling the negative stuff that you're hearing. Same thing with coaching, like when people talk about that. So I think if you can kind of start there and kind of have that be like I post some sort of food every single day. And I haven't done that for a lot of my pregnancy, but the last 4 weeks, I'd say 3 weeks, I've been doing that. And I've had a lot more pregnant people reach out. I've had a lot, I finally hit Success Club 10. I have interest for this month. But posting that food and explaining how the program works and why it's versatile, I think really will help you kind of break down those walls with people and have people engage with you who are pregnant. And kind of work.
I love it. Thank you. Yep.
I would do that. And post, like, I started, I don't know, I got the Greater Devotional too to go with it. And it's 40 days, but it's super short, and he does a really good job on, like, kind of overlapping some chapters, but then, like, if you do one chapter, you might have like 3 or 4 devotions out of that one chapter.
Okay.
So it's really good, but there's like really good one-liners that I've just been posting on my personal page, and that's been getting a lot of like traction and a lot of, personal questions like, hey, what book is this? Or how do you like this? Or, I'm really struggling with like just opening up those conversations again. So maybe even just posting a quote that day of your favorite quote from the book, or something. That it's hard when you're doing audio because you can't write it down or you don't see it.
Right.
But just kind of start sharing that stuff too. through the pregnancy and how mentally it's helping you and where you're at. I don't think I've ever been so open and vulnerable on my page since I've been like, this pregnancy has made me like really be open and vulnerable. And the more I do it, the more responses I get.
Okay.
Hard. I mean, it's hard at first, but then you get that message from that girl who hasn't told anyone she's pregnant yet. And, you know, she's comfortable telling you because you're going through it. Like it's nice. It's exciting. It's kind of that secret reward, you know?
Yeah.
So I would do that. So kind of figure out how you can tie in 21 Day Fix, and twofold, that's going to help people understand what you're doing. It's going to help you stay on track, but then it's going to really intrigue people in the program. So when you start asking for August challenge groups, you've been posting for the whole month of July, at least one time a day, on how the system works for you.
Awesome.
And so people will kind of get a better idea about it.
Cool.
Well,
I even fit it into a Shakeology post the other day. I talked about how the berries that I threw in are at the top of my food list and why that makes them powerhouses instead of just being on the, you know, like how it's structured, and even our lists have something, you know, like
Mishi's ladder or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's like those things, and then that's something I was going to talk to you guys about. We'll go about it later. We'll kind of focus on this right now, but I'm going to write that down. Hold on. Anyone else?
I think I'm having a lot of trouble staying in this. These past few months have been insane, and I've talked to some people like dating wise and that type of thing. So that's kind of a little bit weird for me, but that kind of, you know, when those didn't work out, it kind of did like a number on my self-confidence and just like the whole just doing this, you know, single thing. It's kind of hard, and that's kind of hit my business, and it's kind of like I'm scared to post now. I feel like I'm not, you know, I'm not enough, or, you know, I'm not good at this, you know, especially since I've been hitting my goals. It's kind of just, I mean, I know what I have to do. It's just a confidence thing right now. And I've got so much anxiety. Like I tell Alyssa and Rachel all the time, like I have this weird anxiety about opening messages. And
you had that a couple months ago.
Yeah. And, you know, I go through things where, you know, I'll answer them, but then I won't answer back for a few days because I just can't open the message, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I don't know. It's just I'm going through a weird spot, and I don't know how to get out of it. And once you, like, get out of your habit of posting, it's like, how do you jump back into it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm having trouble jumping back in and having stuff to post, I guess.
Well, and I think too, and this is just me being me, and I'm assuming you may probably feel the same way, you feel like you have to be this perfect person on social media.
Yeah.
You have to have all your crap together, and you have to be able to, you know, do all this and help all these people and keep a smile on your face and keep your confidence up as you go through a divorce and moving and, you know, kids adjusting and new people and coming into your life. And you don't have to. Like, you have every right to feel down, and you have to feel frustrated and sad and stressed out, and, you know, just, you have every right to feel those negative feelings. Like, that's a lot of change going on, and you're so young. Like, you're so young. It's not like you're 35 and, you know, have, you know, the experience, the life experience, I guess, or like you're handling this all very young. Mm-hmm. On top of that, you're doing it by yourself. And so I think, do you follow Danielle Matoni?
No.
Fit and Funky. Look her up on Facebook. She was a single mom when she started. She has 2 kids, and she was way in debt, like no money in her bank, like nothing when she started coaching. She put coaching on a credit card and maxed her credit, like just huge, crazy story. But she just followed her story and said, I don't know how often she posts about her past anymore. But maybe I'll see if I can find like a video she's done or something to share her story. But I think you'd be able to relate to her a little bit more.
Yeah.
And just following her journey. It's just to have that role model. And two, like, take a few days and you know what I'm going to say? You need to dive into personal development and you need to really focus on you. And instead of doing a power hour, do an hour of personal development.
Yeah.
And that might motivate you later in the day to come back and do your messages or get a post up.
Yeah.
But really, like, going back to that, like, I don't want to say starting over because you're not starting over, but it's a fresh, you have to take that first step to a fresh new focus.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, Kristen, I'm kind of calling you out on here, but I mean, you can probably relate a lot to how she's feeling.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, so much. Because that was me. Like, I went to the extent of deactivating my Facebook.
Oh, wow.
I did. But I needed to do that. And I just took that time to focus on me. And I just feel like a calm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back and I messaged Brittany, and here I am. And I said, I'm starting over, but I feel confident again. And honestly, there's no, like, to me, there's no one out there that could take something away that made me so happy.
No.
And who cares? Like, I don't care what people think. I post all kinds of crap out there. And I don't care. Like, I
love that.
Like, I've come to the point that if someone doesn't like what they see, then don't look at my stuff. And I hear that at work all the time. Kristen, you shouldn't post that. Then don't look at it. Don't look at my stuff. Like, that's my attitude.
Unfollow. There's a little arrow up there just for you.
So that's where I'm at now. And I feel like I'm starting over from square one. But today I drove up to Marquette, all the way up. I listened to podcasts. Like, I'm back in the game. Like, I feel like I'm refocused. Like, I feel like I just feel calm. And I made a post about that the other day, and it was just, like, right from the heart.
That's so awesome.
And she's a single mom of 2.
Oh,
And she's
I might have to send you a message then.
Yeah.
Tips.
I love to talk.
And Caitlin's a single mom of 2. She's also a single mom of 2.
Yeah, I've talked to her a little bit, yeah.
You know, so I think it's also, too, like, surround yourself, like, I can be here for you, and obviously I'll always support you, but I can't understand what you're going through. Like, I can have empathy and I can try, but having those people that know exactly what you're going through is going to be so helpful for you.
Yeah.
To just have that support, and when you're having that bad day, or when you have that bad date, or, you know, whatever, and, you know, have that support system to come back to. And I think that's huge. You know, like I have Heather right now for these pregnancies, trying to figure this all out. It's the same kind of support system that you need. So I would really focus this week, like it's Wednesday, just take like the next 4 or 5 days and, you know, put a post up that says, hey, I see your messages. I'm going to message you back maybe tonight. Do, like we talked about last time, do 15, 20 minutes. Get through the ones that you can. Get through the important ones. And then put a post up and say, hey, I see your messages. You know, I'm doing a little staycation with my kids, so I will get back to you Sunday night.
Okay.
Or something like that. And just give yourself that grace. Give yourself that time. Like, you don't have to be on. You can take these moments and kind of get yourself back on track. And I know you have a plethora of personal development books to see. I mean, look through them and figure out where do you need grace? Do you need confidence? You know, to know that there's greater things, that God has greater things for you? Do you need, the power of I to focus on that confidence? Speak positive affirmations to yourself.
Yeah.
And Miranda, I don't know, like, this isn't going to be productive at all. Just coming from an outsider perspective, watching your journey on Facebook, you are so inspiring, and I love watching your story and what you're going through. Like, I always make sure I read all of it because I want to know what's happening with you. And I feel like I know you just from your Facebook. So you're obviously doing something great. If I wasn't already a body customer and coach, definitely I'd have my eye on you for sure.
Thank you so much. That makes my day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Girls are making me cry.
Sometimes you just need to get back on these calls.
Exactly.
Hey, Miranda, I was having a similar conversation with one of my coaches the other week, and she's struggling with feeling qualified, feeling like she has any right coaching anybody. And for her, it's a different situation. For her, it's her weight. She's still got a good 100 pounds to lose, but she feels like, how is anyone, like, everything's a mess. How can I possibly, whatever. And she was telling me all these things that she was feeling, like you were just saying, all these things that you're feeling, this anxiety and this stress, and I'm not qualified for this. And I told her, I was like, if you are feeling these things, someone else is feeling these things.
Yeah.
And needs to know that someone else is feeling those things.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we start to think that we're the only ones feeling what we're feeling, we're all in a bad place.
Yeah.
And I think if you can get brave and share even a fraction, whatever you feel safe sharing, there's someone out there that needs to hear it. There's someone out there that is going to connect with you because you're doing this and you're being brave and you're being scared while you're being brave.
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer in God gives you your story to share it because it's someone else needs to hear it.
Yeah.
So whatever you're brave enough to share, it doesn't have to be all the gory details and it doesn't have to be all the stuff, but whatever feels safe.
The more, the more I share about my eating disorder, the more I share about having a bad body image, the more personal messages I get saying, thanks for sharing that, or I really needed to hear that today, or like, you feel like it's not a big deal, or you feel like everyone who's going through that has somebody already, or, and you think like, what can I do for that person? But how would you feel if you were scrolling through your newsfeed and you read Danielle and the Tony story and you're like, oh my gosh, that's me, but this is what happened, this is what she did, like you have that connection and you have that like emotional tie, like, okay, I feel that it just makes you feel good that you're not alone. I shared that I didn't want this baby, I didn't want 3 kids, I was happy with just the 2 that we had, and this was a huge step of faith, and this was not something that I was jumping for joy at, but and that I was really hesitant to share that because I was like, I don't want people who've had miscarriages or can't have children or can't go for them to view me as like, well, you didn't even want this baby and now you're pregnant, because that's not my. I shared that and I found words to share that, and I had like 4 or 5 messages that night alone from good friends that messaged me, thanks for sharing that, I'm going through that exact same thing. Or I had people who are newly married and they're, been married for 3 years and they haven't had kids yet because it's scary, because it's not what they want for their life and they have different plans, but they're feeling like, so it's like, it just really helps. It helps you feel a little therapeutic when you're done. But then you also get that high from like someone, I guarantee you somebody will message you and say, thank you for sharing that. I needed to know that I'm not alone. Or I'm recently divorced, or I'm going through a separation and we haven't told anybody yet. Mm-hmm. Thanks for sharing your story. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
So, and like Heather said, like, be brave enough to share what you're ready to share. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa will say it all the time, like, being vulnerable is one of the best things you can do, not only for your business, but for you to heal. And, it's, I view Facebook as like therapy. You're having those bad days and you like write out those posts and you feel so good after. It's like, oh, it's out. It's out.
Yeah.
It's on. public. Even if I delete it, somehow somebody can find it. But, I think that's a good start if you can, message Kristen and message Caitlin and message those people who are going through or have gone through what you're in right now, and build that little network and dive into personal development. And then if you
just talking to you guys helps. You guys are also awesome. I love you guys so much. It helps more than you know.
I know. Sometimes we just need that little pick me up. That little. And you know what? I can tell a complete difference in the unity of the team since I haven't been doing these as frequently. And so I'll kind of, based on that, I'll kind of go into like what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight in 20 minutes. See if I can do that. But I think it kind of ties into everything that everyone's been kind of saying tonight is, I have felt really, I don't want to say like a bad leader. I have just felt really disconnected from the team and from trainings and from, your guys' businesses and what's going on. And, usually I feel like I'm pretty connected on that and I know what everyone's struggling with and I can help you like that. And, I can run this training or this group, but I was getting so emotionally stressed out that it wasn't even physical. It wasn't even like tired or I had to go to bed. Like I was so emotionally stressed out that I had to stop doing something. And unfortunately it was team calls and it was doing more trainings. And when I would start a training and it wouldn't go how I would think, it would just stress me out even more. And, on top of the baby and the kids being home from school, Matt's been going through this huge job transition. I don't know if you guys know, but he started a new job with a new company, a new call point, and just, so a lot of conversations at home have been a lot about that. And it's just emotional. There's a lot of just that emotional stress and it's good stuff, but it's just stressful. And I'm really proud of myself for taking myself out of a stressful position and being able to be there for him and to be there for the kids through the transition, because had I not, who knows, how we made it out on top without fighting them over this whole thing. So, had I been so focused on rank advancement or being plugged into team calls or scheduling one-on-ones at night or having that anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I have to get that done, when he has the anxiety of his job and we're trying to split, who has to do bedtime, and like I just had to remove myself from it. So, but I tell you guys that because that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of this. Like you guys, I hope that as soon as life kind of settles down, and my goal is September is to resume these calls and, probably bi-weekly until the baby gets on a schedule and whatever, but is to be back in here and to get back plugged in and let our family go through this transition. But that's the beauty of this business, is that the work that I've done for the last 3 years has allowed me to take that step back and to be with my family and to, be there for my husband as he goes through this stressful thing, and to, be there for the kids and enjoy our last few weeks with them as just us, and enjoy this pregnancy and not feel super stressed out about all that, other stuff. And I want you guys to view that as leadership. Like I want you guys to know that as leaders in your business, for challenge groups and for coaches, that it's okay to take a step back and it's okay to put your priorities where they need to be. And you don't have to be spot on rank advancing all the time and doing this and hitting Success Club 40 and doing blah, 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 that to be a successful coach. But what you do have to do to be a good leader, and I hope you guys saw this, was that I didn't miss Success Club. I was in tune with you guys as much as possible. I continued to post. I continued to drink my Shakeology. I continued to do a workout when I was allowed. Posting my bed rest was getting really interesting. I'm like, my life, these 4 walls and parenthood. So what do you want to know? I can tell you all about Zeke and Camille and them. But I stuck to those basics that build your business. So what I want you guys to take from that is being a leader doesn't always mean that you're rocking your Success Club points, that you're rank advancing, that you're running 10,000 trainings, that you're running this and doing that. And, you know, I'm comparing myself to Meg as I'm doing all this, and she's got so many things going on. I'm like, I should be doing that. And I'm like, no, I can't be doing that. Like, yeah, she has a kid, but I now have two, and I'm like, it's just different. But when you go back to the basics of the business, when you go back to doing your workout, when you go back to drinking your Shakeology, when you go back to posting 3 to 5 times a day and just sharing your little bits of your life, asking questions, relating to those who are in your niche, when you go back to reading 20 to 30 minutes of personal development for you. You guys, don't look at personal development as work. Like, think of that as a tool to help you. Like, if something would have happened to Beachbody today and it was like poof gone, that would be a habit that's instilled in me now. Like, that's a habit that I see is so vital to not my business, but to my life. Like, I can tell when I'm getting snippy at Matt or snippy with the kids. Like, I'm not taking that time in the morning to just be for 10, 15 minutes where the kids are watching the show. Instead, I'm scrolling Facebook, and then I'm snippy the rest of the day because I don't have that quiet time. So going back to those basics of your business when things are hectic, it's summertime. I've seen so many people, you know, saying like, I'm traveling, and that's how my May was. It was travel. We were home in Florida for 10 days in our house in the month of May, and it was super stressful. And that's how summer is for a lot of you. You're traveling, or your family's coming in town, or you're here, or your work schedule is different, or your kids are home and things are different. But if you commit to those vital behaviors, if you commit to taking it back to basics, no other trainings, no other like how to do this for Facebook, or like, you know, revamping things or whatever. If you get back to those basics 4 to 5 days a week, you guys are going to continue to see growth. And as a leader, it's your job to show your coaches and your challengers that when life is messy, when life is hectic, when life is throwing you curveballs, it's that consistency through those curveballs 4 to 5 days a week that is going to help you move forward. Like, you don't have to be this big fancy leader with all these fancy tools and trainings, but you do have to be a leader that commits to the basics of the business, because you're telling your coaches, this is how your business works. This is how your business grows. So why, when life gets hectic, would you not do those and try to do the other stuff that's not making your business grow, right? And it was a huge weight lift off my shoulders this week when I was listening to a podcast that I shared with you guys yesterday that, like, you know, I haven't rank advanced, you know, and that's okay. I've had people rank advanced, but things shift around and people lose emeralds and people lose diamonds and life happens and, you know, whatever. But I'm consistent with my vital behaviors. My page is still working. I'm still hitting Success Club. I'm still helping people. I'm still talking to people. And that's how your business grows. So that way in December, I have every opportunity to still hit my yearly goal because I'm not missing those steps now. I might not be able to do the extra trainings with you guys right now, but I will be in September, October, November, December. You might not be able to commit to 7 days a week of power hours and all this stuff, but can you commit to 4? Can you commit to, 3? Can you commit to 5? And commit to doing those basic business building activities to show your team, like, this is what you do. And then when you're ready and you have that extra time to focus on something extra, you're not trying to jump into getting the basics down and now you're trying to do this training. Because now you have the basics down, those have been a flow, and now you just have to get in that extra little training. Does that make sense? Does anyone else kind of have that aha moment at all? Yeah. It doesn't have to be this big fancy thing, but it just has to be those basic behaviors. And so my next part with that is, I know we focus so much on recruiting, and because recruiting is linked to rank advancement, and rank advancement is supposedly linked to money. And I want to tell you that rank advancement is not always necessarily linked to income. Okay? But what is linked to income is helping people every month. That's where your income goes. So maybe some months it's focused on recruiting. Maybe some months it's focused on challenge groups. And I'll tell you right now that the reason my business hasn't rank advanced is because it's taken me 30 days to hit Success Club some months. And so I'm focusing only on that. And I don't have the time to focus on, the last 2 weeks, 10 days to help you guys as much as I have been in the past. And I see that shift, but bring it back to basics. Like, why did you get into this business? You got into this business to help people. And this was the other thing that I thought about this week. Like, I've been so focused on just like hitting a number and being recognized for hitting that number that I really haven't invested a whole ton into the people who helped me hit that number. Like, I don't have a lot of people getting great results the 21 Day Fix program. I don't have anyone returning it. I don't have anyone like, oh, that sucked. But I don't have a lot of people reaching out to me saying, this was amazing. Thank you. And so that's my focus for July. And I encourage you to have that be your focus for July, is to run a rockin' challenge group. Maybe your challenge group is starting with me on the 11th. Maybe you haven't started one yet, or maybe it's not coming or whatever. But whatever your next challenge group is, my encouragement for you is to focus 100% on that. And that's my focus for July. Because I'm like, I want these people at the end of July when I'm delivering this baby I want to like have messages in my inbox like, thank you for helping me. I lost 6 pounds. Thank you for helping me. This challenge group was so different than the ones I've been in with you previously. Like, so many people in the 5-star and above group, like, you get stuck in a rut. You just get stuck in this wheel of like, hit Success Club. Okay, now focus on next month, hit Success Club. And you kind of forget the people that helped you hit Success Club, right? Anyone else feel that way?
Me, definitely.
Yeah, you feel like you just kind of lose them and it just kind of like sucks. So then you're like, oh crap, I forgot. you know? Or you're just rushing through putting up a challenge group post. Like, I've even felt more disconnected because I don't even schedule my challenge group posts anymore. My assistant does it. But so what I'm doing to do that is I took an old challenge group 21 day thing from last July, actually, ironically. And I'm running that one for this group. So it's not a love me first challenge. It's not a lot of positive affirmations and that kind of stuff. It's more, recipes and Shakeology tidbits and things like that. So they're all plugged into the group. But then what I did was I created a form on Google and I sent it. So like I went through all of the people and, we have the big team challenge group. I went through and I grabbed all of my people and I put them in a private message and I said, hey guys, I'll post the message that I sent them. But I just said, hey, I'm super stoked to get going on Monday with you. I have a few new things I'm doing this month for those of you who worked with me in the past to better keep tabs on you, as sometimes the Facebook group gets too large or very hard for you to check in all the time. So please fill out this form. On the form, I put like their name, email, how many days will you commit to working out, will you commit to drinking Shakeology each day, and what I did on that question was yes, and then my next one was like not currently drinking it, and then the third one was like, oh, please tell me more about it. Samples would be great. What bracket are you in for 21 Day Fix? What's your biggest hurdle? The area as your coach, how do I need to hold you more accountable? And I'm having them submit that. So then I have all of those answers in my email and in my, what's it called? Google. But then what I'm doing is I'm taking their emails, and I've done this for the last few months, is I take them and I plug my people into the My Challenge Tracker app. And the people that commit to the Challenge Tracker app, they're the ones that are consistent. Like, I have 3 girls who've been in the last 2 months and they are rocking their fitness. And so each month it's a place where I can reward them individually. So I'm not giving it to the huge group, because if I do it to the huge group, then I'm opening up to all your clients as well. And it's taken away from me and the personal connection to my clients. So maybe that can be some of the disconnect, is they're in this huge Facebook group and you're not the one posting and you're not the one, doing this and doing that or whatever. So I encourage you to get them plugged into that group. If you don't have one, run your own group. Maybe you team up with a leader and you guys run your own group. use a different template, use something new, because that's not only going to be exciting for them, it's going to be exciting for you as well. Use the Challenge Tracker app so that if you do team up with somebody, you can just track your clients. And then the other thing that I did in there is I went through and I did the Love Me First affirmations, and I took just like the first little bit of those paragraphs and those pictures and stuff. So when they log into the Challenge Tracker app, there's still a daily post, but it's short, sweet. It's more just like encouraging than anything. But then on Fridays, like I did a focused weekend giveaway. So if they posted on Friday, like 1 week, it is comment below with the physical feature you hate the most, and number 2, say something nice about that feature. For everyone who comments below, put your name in a drawing and I'll do a little giveaway. So just getting them involved and getting them, giving them prizes and rewarding them for sticking with it. And I've gotten away from that. Maybe you haven't. But, these are basic things that go back to the challenge groups. If your business is struggling, if you're really struggling with focus and excitement, go back to the challenge groups. Take a month or 2 off from recruiting, recruit if there's an event coming up, but take your focus off of that and go back to doing amazing challenge groups. Because I know when I was doing amazing challenge groups, that's when I got some amazing coaches. And that's when I built the best relationships. So I can kind of type that up for you guys and put it in the team leader page so you guys kind of know how I'm running mine this month. But I think that might help you, just to kind of go not only back to the basics in your business, but back to your basics with your challengers and focusing a lot of your efforts into your challenge group instead of, trying to hit a Success Club higher number or trying to recruit coaches if you're not at that place yet. Because if you don't have racking challengers, then you're going to be, hard to find coaches that are excited about the business. I say this with love, but stop asking for people to be discount coaches. Because if they cancel their coach account, then they also cancel Shakeology. They're not canceling a coach account and then still staying on Shakeology. Now they're canceling everything, so you've lost them completely. So keep them as a customer. Keep them happy as a customer. Keep them happy as a client. Keep them plugged into your groups. Keep them, asking about their nutrition, having a group every month, and just, be there for them. And if in the conversation it comes up about coaching, then it will. If they're meant to be, don't chase them. Don't, because it only hurts your business if you have someone sign up as a discount coach and then they cancel altogether. Now they're not even a customer, and it's now they're a real big mess because they're not even on the healthiest meal of the day. They've removed themselves completely, and that can be even a little bit more disheartening. Does that help? Does that kind of give you guys a new fresh focus for the month of July and
Yes.
a way to kind of focus on your business? I'm super stoked for a challenge group, and I can't tell you last time I was excited about a challenge group. I'm loving. There's 20 girls that are I'm in, and I'm okay, awesome. I'm holding you to this. I'm excited to do this and to help them see really good results in the middle of the summer. So.
Thanks for saying that, because I watched that video yesterday and did not hear it the same way you heard it. So I needed that because, that was I should not have watched the video.
Oh, at first I felt really crappy. I texted Sarah. I said, I thought this was supposed to make me feel better. Because it was if you're not rank advancing, why do you expect your team to rank advance? And I was like,
yes, I heard it, and I was fail, and your team fails, and it's all your fault. And then I went to bed. And I was this is awful. I'm never watching that video again.
I heard it. I was you have to be a leader, and you have to figure out what being a leader means. And you have to figure out right now, where do you need to be a leader? And ironically enough, I think everyone on this team needs a leader that's just going back to the basics. And that's not trying to do anything heroic. That's not trying to hit these huge audacious goals. I have them, of course, and funny enough, I think I'll hit them. I think we'll all hit them by going back to the basics. And my hope is in September to get a better, I don't want to call it push to diamond, but just to help you guys rank advance and to help you build your businesses, but in a fresh mindset. I think we need to take a July, August and just kind of refocus on those basics and refresh your love for the business and for your love for helping people and kind of get in tune with that. And And, you know, that goes back to like, I think I shared the script. Every person that's been asking like, oh, I want to do 21 Day Fix. Well, like I chat with them, and I'll send you guys, I'll do this tomorrow, some conversations that I've had with people over the last few days. And I give them the option. This is option 1. I think this is the best option. And I list the challenge pack. And then I said option 2 is a base kit. And I've had 4 people purchase the base kit in the last 4 days. Are these challenge packs? No. But they're in a group. They have a program. They're trusting me. They're taking that step. And we'll go from there. So I'm just really going back to like, the points will come, like whatever, I'll get it. But right now I just really want to focus on helping people. And when they order a base kit, I'm sending them 2 samples of Shakeology. And here you go. Like, I just want you to try it and kind of go from there. But so I really encourage you to go back to the basics of building your business, but then back to the basics of running your business as well. Does that sound good?
It does.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hop off here, and we're going to hop on over to the team call. So if you can hop on over there, great. If not, I totally get it. Rest up. Have a good night. And make sure to check out the recording tomorrow or Friday, okay? All right, bye, guys.